Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Sunday evening and I just read a headline. We're not impressed, can we just say? We're not impressed at all. So, what's his face? Sunak, Prime Minister of the UK. So, I saw this headline and it was there's no way that three times as many people are unable to work in the last 10 years. Like, really? You think? Do you want to maybe look at your figures? Because every female worker has had 6 years added on to their working years since 10 years ago. So in 2014, there was a new Pensions Act, and that was when the women's pension age was increased. And in December 2018, the pension age was to increase to 66 for everybody by October 2020. So, all those people, all those people who thought they were going to retire at 60 back in 2013, it got changed in 2014. So all those women who were supposed to finish working at 60 have to continue to work now until they're 66. And as of 2020, all those guys who thought that they were finished when they were 65 have to keep going for that extra year. Now, I don't know about you, but I know through friends of my mum's. I mean, she had one friend that it took that woman an hour to do her hair. She could barely lift her arms above her head. She was in so much pain. But she only had 2 years to go until she retired. And then she could sit back on her pension. So she went in, she did her job. She didn't do any extra. She didn't do anything else. But she did her job and she worked those 2 years. And you could hear her when she came to come and visit mum. So I've only got a year now, I've only got 6 months now. I retire next week, that's me, I'm done. There is no way that woman could have kept going another 5 years. Just wasn't possible. And really, if it had been that she was to retire at 66 or 65 as it was at that time, or as it would have been, she'd have stopped when she was 63 because she couldn't have kept going. So yes, she would have been too ill to work. The only reason she kept going for that last couple of years is because that was her working age. She was like, I'll get my wee pension when I'm done. The pension that I've worked all my days for. So, yeah, the number of people signed off has tripled in the last 10 years. I bet it has. I bet it has. It's all these women who thought they were retiring at 60 now have to work till they're 65, 66. Well, 66 now. And the men have had an extra year added on to 66. But also due to the fact of the lack of social care and the lack of childcare. People my age are now babysitting the kids so that their parents, as in my child age, the 30-year-olds. The 30-year-olds are struggling, even with two of them working, to be able to afford childcare to keep themselves in a home. So the grandparents, as in people my age, are stepping in. So they're watching the kids after school. But then they've still got their own parents to deal with who are possibly in a care home. But that's not as normal nowadays because there's not enough staff to have care homes because they're all run for profit. There's very few council-run care homes anymore. So, not content with working all my days, people my age are now expected to look after their grandchildren and look after their parents. How long do you think they're going to manage to do that? Now, on a personal basis, flu, as we've all seen me have in the last 2 weeks. If you asked my daughter, I think she would remember me having flu twice in her life, like proper flu where I couldn't get my head off the pillow, just not happening, couldn't even see straight, never mind think straight. I had that twice. I didn't get it very often, nor did my father. It seemed to be genetic. But when we got it good. I've had that 3 times in 1 year. So don't try and tell me that people aren't sick and that they should be working. What was he said? We are rewarding hard work with tax cuts. Those tax cuts are not even going to look at the increase in price for my fuel, for my energy costs, for my food costs. So no, you're not rewarding hard work with tax cuts. There's no reward at all for hard work, because the wages are not keeping up with the costs, and some measly little tax cut is not going to do it. If you want to get some money into the coffers of the government, then maybe go after the companies that you and your cronies have got that are skimming off the top and doing tax avoidance. You've got more people chasing benefit fraud than you do chasing tax fraud. I think that needs to change. So yes, I'm irked. I need to go and have a cup of tea. As you can hear, my voice is getting but my brain is now back working again. Can you tell? But I mean, the utter stupidity of that, of, there's no way there's 3 times as many people off sick in the last 10 years. Of course there is. Between every single working woman from 60 to 65 that was never on the books before because they were retired, to the sandwich generation who are running themselves into the ground to try and give their child a chance and try and help their parents. And then you're saying we should be grateful for a tax cut? Mr. Multimillionaire, do not give me your rubbish. I did quite well using that word, didn't I? Right, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. Apologies for anyone who did not want anything political. I'm just rather irked. And I'm going to start coughing if I don't stop speaking. So I will love you and leave you, and I will catch you later.